Hello, welcome to the channel. This is Alfred. Today we will continue with our project. Alright, today we'll work on adding the functionality to add a new first name to our project, right? So let's go ahead and close out of this. So we don't have any change to commit or fetch, which is good, but let's go ahead and run a fetch just so we are sure. So go ahead and do a fetch, and 0 outgoing, 0 incoming. So we know that we are good. No one have staged anything in the repository. So this is where we stopped off the last time, right? So now we are about to hook up this button, so we are able to add a name to our list, and we can add as many as we could, right? So let's go ahead and hook up the click event on this. So let's go ahead and give this a name, btn minimize this so we could see better. So let's go ahead and give it a click event, and I'm just going to hit enter, new event handler. So I am going to right click here and go to definition. So now we should be able to add a name. So how do we want to track this name? I believe I do want to track it as this. So we want to track it as a list of string. Actually, let's a list of first name model, new. All right. So now we want to add whatever value we have here. We want to add it to the list. So let's go back here, and this is how we are going to do that. Let's say first name dot add. Oh, we need to, that's a list, right? Yep, first name, Ctrl C dot add. So we need a new first name. Close it out and add a new. So the only property we have in our first name is first name. So I think, why do I call this first name? Let's call it a names. Let's call it names, because that just sounds strange. So let's go ahead and change this to names. Names model. Hopefully, all right. We're about to break a lot of our code, but hopefully we should still be fine. So on our model, we have names model, which is perfect. So this is first name. That makes more sense. All right. So Ctrl J. So now we should have first name. Okay, yeah, we should still have first name. So we want to import the text file. Whatever we have here, we want to add it to it, right? So let's go ahead and call our user control, which is int add name dot text limited dot text. Makes sense so far? So now we are adding whatever we enter there in here, right? So how about when we add it, we need to update this list view. How do we do that? So I am going to do that right here. So we just want to add it here. Let's go ahead and this view name, then let's do item source equals to first name. So we are binding the list view to this first name, and let's go ahead and add some data to the first name, just a small to start with data there. Names bracket, then first name. Let's go with Fred. Control C. Let's do John. Now we can hook it up here. So before we move any further, let's run the application and look at what we have going on. So we should have this function working now. All right. Oh, that doesn't look good. Yeah. What did I do? Oh, that's not right. So let's go ahead and change this name. Let's go ahead and make it a prop full, like a prop full tab. So let's go ahead and make it a string. First name. First name. All right. Perfect. That looks good. Okay, I believe I need to change this to ListBox. List. Yeah, let's see if that fixes it. Sometimes ListBox and ListView, they act very strange. ListBox, all right. So let's go back here and we should have ListBox. Let's try this one more time. Okay, so we are showing the project namespace, project name, project folder, and the project model. That is basically telling me that it's not able to find the list box. Add display member here. Display member part. So that will be, we want it to display the first name, right? Which is this. Control C. And let's run this again and see if that fixes it. It should. Oh, here we go. Yeah, that fixed it. Perfect. So now we have our list hooked up. You know what? Let's go ahead and try to add another name. Let's add child. Add to list. And looks like this is not binding. So if I click on add to list, it is certainly not binding. So why could that be the case? Let's see. So it's not binding, it's not updating, even though let's go ahead and check to make sure that we are actually entering the code. So go ahead and add. So we are adding it. So if we go to this list, we have that 10, which is telling me that we have been adding it, but just not binding it to the list box. So how can we update that? That's what we need to figure out. So in order to fix that, we want to add an observable. So I'm going through this with you just so you see the power of data binding. So let's go ahead and change this to an observable collection. Observable collection. All right, let's try to add it. Control dot. Let's add it there. Control C, Control C, and Control V. All right, that looks good. It didn't break anything, which is perfect. So let's go ahead and run the app again. Here we go. Now we are able to bind automatically. And look at that. Our application is growing and we have lost our control. This is not acceptable, so we need to fix that. So our list box for some reason is growing out of control. So let's go back here. So we have a list box in the stackable panel, right? And the stackable panel is actually, so if we go to the, so what we have the roles growing, so we have this as this author. So let's go ahead and that will be in the first panel. Let's go ahead and put an asterisk here and see if that fixes it. Still not fix it. Okay, so let's take matters into our own hands. Let's do the max height. Let's call it max height. Whoa, what's that? Max height. That's not cool. Control Z. That's mean height, and let's also do max height is equals to, let's do 200 as well. All right, let's just keep adding. All right, perfect. That's exactly what we want. It will just keep adding and give us a scroll bar, which is perfect. All right, so now we have hooked up our button to add a new name, and we have hooked up our observable binding collection to be able to see our list add. So that will be all for today, and before I leave, I am going to commit this code. Everything looks good. I don't think I need to do much. The next time we will hook up delete name, the ability to delete name, and see what other items that we need to take care of. But our project is coming up pretty good so far. So far we can add new name, show it in a list box, and that's it, and looking pretty good. So let's go ahead and commit and do a fetch first. Obviously we will have our changes that we just made staged, ready to be committed. Oh, nothing staged. Let's fetch that again. Nothing. Okay, so I guess we are now ready to commit these new changes then. So added method for adding new first name. All right, I'm going to commit all, and we look good. Now we can go ahead and push it to our repository. If you want to keep following this series, go ahead and subscribe to this channel so that you could follow us, and thank you for watching. I will talk to you later. Bye bye.